When you were a kid, did you dream of being the world's strongest man or anything like that?
I wouldn't say it was a dream of mine. I always pretended I could pick up cars, you know, when I was younger. You can bounce cars and bounce the suspension and pretend, you know, that you're picking up cars and stuff. But the dream really wasn't there for me of becoming world's strongest, Europe's strongest, Britain's strongest. It wasn't like an attainable dream. It didn't even come into my consciousness. But there was obviously something there from a young age. And you know, here we are. I'm sat here as, you know, two times Europe's strongest man, and my brother's 3 times world's strongest man. So there must be something that's in the subconscious that's allowed me to believe I could do this.
And you jokingly talked about your brother and the competition. Is there real competition when you're training and you know, when you're going for these great championships?
Yeah, I mean, there has to be, right? So, I mean, I have the privilege of training with the world's strongest man, and Tom is an absolutely phenomenal athlete. But I know I'm stronger than him and than Tom in certain events, you know, so we have that rivalry. So it's no surprise that, you know, Tom and I are 2 of the best strongmen in the world at the moment because of that rivalry. You know, we push each other on. Tom pushes me on all the time. And I know when I'm training to my 100%, Tom is training so much harder. Like, he sees me put that effort and that work in, and he's wanting that. He wants to feel that. So that's the energy. We talk a lot about energy that's created between Tom and I, and that's where the energy is. It's when we're training in a warehouse in Muirvord, you know, putting in those hours and hours of training, eating those meals. You know, it's always a competition to see who can become the strongest, and you know, we're just very fortunate we both love to do what we do.
Yeah, I mean, the competitive edge is obviously very important, but when I've watched strongman events, I just look at it and go, oh my God, that looks really sore. Really, really painful. I mean, you must have to train. Your pain threshold must be absolutely ridiculous when you're, you know, walking around carting stuff that would break most of us in half.
Yeah, and I think that comes over time. You know, I couldn't go, if I've never lifted anything before, I couldn't go straight into the gym, lift 500 kilos, lift all these Atlas stones, and, you know, do all these events that we do now and be okay. So it takes, like, I've been training since I was 16, like I say, I'm 40 this year, so that's basically 24 years of training to get to where I am. So it's the same as anything, you know, it takes a long time to be good at something and for your body to adapt to that pain threshold. So yeah, every day knees are sore, elbows, hips, back, but you just kind of learn to get on with that and just push through. What's
the event that gets you every time you're going to one of these competitions? There must be one event that you think, oh God, I hate this one.
Any type of vehicle pull. So when we're pulling trucks, aeroplanes, monster trucks, I mean, we pulled a lot along the way, but it's just 100% output from that initial pull. You've just got to go, go, go. And pulling a vehicle for 30 metres takes anywhere between 40 to 60 seconds. And having that 100% output is just really, really difficult. You know, like after we do it, that's when you see the medics rushing on, giving you oxygen because you pass out, and it's really hard. But then that's one of maybe 10 events that we've got to do. So it might be the second event in a 10-event competition. So you've got to kind of dust yourself off, shake yourself off, and just get back into it, which is the fun thing.
It must be an amazing thing as well, you know, coming from where you do, going across the world, and people going, "Where's that?" And you've put, you know, that whole area, the whole of the Highlands, the whole of Scotland, on the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a sense of pride. I think Tom and I both have. You know, we come from a small town called Invergordon, which, you know, isn't that notorious for much. To be honest, it's a very small town, and you know, we're very proud that we've remained there, we've stayed there, we've got a shop, we've got a business, we've got a gym there, and we're very passionate about that. And you know, we're very outspoken about how beautiful the Highlands is, how beautiful the area is that we get to stay in, and I think it's one of the nicest places I've ever visited in the world, and that's why, you know, this will always be home for us.
Yeah. Well, we're here obviously at the Highland Games. Have you ever had a go at the caber tossing and the hammer over the bar and all that kind of stuff?
I've done a bit in my time, but never really that seriously. So I'll leave that to the professionals, because I don't want to go in there and embarrass myself by throwing the caber the wrong way or throwing the hammer out in front of me rather than over the bar. But these guys that do it here, they're fantastic. The heavies, they're great athletes, and it's nice to see that, a lot of strength sports started off in the Highlands. It's in Scotland that strength really kind of started many centuries ago, and to see the Highland Games here and to be part of it is a huge sense of pride for me, because I just love everything to do with strength, and when guys and girls get to give it 100%, that's when something special can usually happen. So yeah, I hope those guys just get into that primal sense, use that bit of aggression, and kind of do something special here today.
Yeah. Well, it's been a privilege to speak to you. Ladies and gentlemen, have we got any questions at all? Can you give birthday bumps to a 7-year-old? What? I knew I shouldn't have done that. I really...
Easy. As long as he's wearing pants underneath his kilt.
He is injured. I don't really want to put him through that ordeal. It's fine. Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Luke's over at his stall. Where is your stall just now?
Just towards the entrance.
Just towards the entrance there, you won't miss it. But it's been great having you here. We're all extremely proud of what you and your brother have done for Scotland and particularly for the Highlands. So thank you very much. Luke Stoltman!
Thanks, guys.